She had sex on a trip 16 years ago, and I only just found out. I'm Chris, 46 years old, 2 kids, married for damn near 2 decades to the woman I thought I knew inside and out. We've been together 20 years. Since before we were even really adults, still figuring shit out. Life's been good. You know, solid. Or so I thought until yesterday. I was rummaging through the nightstand drawer, looking for some old photos. Probably from that trip we took to Thailand back in '07 or '08. Just some nostalgia. Nothing more. My wife was out with the kids on a camping trip with some other families, so I had the whole damn house to myself. Peace and quiet. For once. That's when I saw it, a small, leather-bound journal tucked beneath a stack of old magazines. Her diary. Now, I ain't gonna lie. My first thought was to just put it back. Give her privacy. My old man always drilled it into me. Mind your own damn business. Christopher. But something, some tiny, nagging spark of curiosity, kept my hand from putting it back. Maybe it was the quiet house. Maybe it was just a moment of weakness. Whatever it was. I pulled it out. I flipped through the first few pages, a little embarrassed, scanning quickly, and then, there it was. Some of my old drawings. Quick sketches I'd made of us during that Thailand trip. Goofing off. That was back in '07 or '08. Yeah, that felt like a lifetime ago. We were just kids then. Really, still, seeing them there, in her handwriting, it gave me a strange pull, made me feel like I wasn't entirely invading her space, like there was some connection to me in there. Dumb, I know. My gut was telling me to put it back, but my stupid brain started rationalizing, telling me it was just a harmless peek into our shared past. I kept flipping, a little faster now, getting ready to close it up and pretend I never saw it, and then a few paragraphs jumped out at me. My eyes snagged on some words. She was 30 at the time. This was September 2009. She was on a trip to Mongolia with one of her girlfriends. I remember that trip. She called me every day, told me how wild it was, how different, never mentioned anything else. The words blurred for a second, then sharpened. She wrote about a fellow traveler, an ex-dancer type, handsome, apparently, and he got both her and her friend sexually excited. What the hell? I read that line again. Sexually excited. My stomach twisted. I wasn't looking for trouble. Not in a million years. Just flicking through, like I said. But that stopped me dead. I went back, reread the passage more carefully this time. He chatted them up, asked if they were single. Her response, she wrote, was a quick no, but it sounded forced. She wondered why her friend might have thought that. Her friend. My friend too. For Christ's sake. This friend knew me. She knew we were together. My blood started to run cold. This wasn't some fan fiction. This was her. This was my wife. A couple of paragraphs later, on a later day of the trip, it got worse. A lot worse. She wrote about this dancer guy casually touching her inside her shirt and kissing her neck, without her having the time to react. Bullshit. Absolute, unadulterated bullshit. If she didn't want his hands on her, if she didn't want his mouth on her neck, she would have reacted. I know her. She's not some shrinking violet. She'd have given him a smack, a kick, something she didn't want to react. That's the truth. She wanted it. Then she went to bed alone. She wrote, telling herself that it's going to be hard to have self-control. Self-control. What the hell was she even talking about? The narrative she was crafting in her own head. It was like she was trying to convince herself she was a victim of circumstance, not a willing participant. I kept reading, my hands shaking a little, pages crinkling under my grip. The next evening, they were all sitting by the fire. He suddenly grabs her by the arm and takes her aside somewhere remote. Suddenly grabs her. Bullshit again. She knew damn well what he was doing. She didn't stop him. She let him lead her away. He wasn't forcing her. He wasn't dragging her. He was taking the lead, and she was following, willingly. And then, the lines that really made me sick to my stomach. Overcome by passion, they both hastily undressed. They had sex. And she even comes 3 times. 3 times. The detail, the raw, graphic detail of it. It wasn't some vague, romanticized encounter. It was real. She described it like a damn smut novel. Every explicit detail laid bare. I couldn't believe what I was reading. My eyes were burning. I had to stop. I closed the diary for a moment, just breathing, trying to process the poison seeping into my brain. My wife, the mother of my children, this 16 years ago. I forced myself to open it again, to finish it. I needed to know the full extent of the damage. She went on to write about having sex with him at least one more time, maybe more. It wasn't entirely clear. But what was clear, terrifyingly clear, was that she really loved every moment of the passionate sex that she had with the stranger during the trip. Loved every moment. And then she came back to me, to our life. She got engaged. We got married. We popped out two beautiful kids. And she kept this whole sordid story in a damn nightstand drawer next to our bed. The shock hit me like a physical blow. 16 years. She kept this secret for 16 years. And it was sitting there, a couple of feet from where I slept every night. She's due back in a few hours from this camping trip with the kids. My mind was racing, 1,000 thoughts colliding. Should I bring it up? How do you even bring something like this up? How do you look at the woman you've spent half your life with, knowing this, and then a new wave of suspicion? That trip to Vietnam last year, when I went to see my family with the girls, and she spent some days there all alone. And that business trip she's got in 2 weeks, alone again. Her habit of going on these trips by herself. I'd always just accepted it. Never thought anything of it. Now, it was all I could think about. A cold, hard knot formed in my gut. Is this a pattern? Has she been doing this again? My mind spiraled further, questioning everything, even the kids. Are they even mine? No. Chris, don't go there. Not yet. But the thought, once planted, dug its claws in deep. I remember her low libido after our second kid was born. It became this whole thing, a constant source of friction. I'm just not interested in sex much anymore. She'd say, low libido. Honey, yeah, low libido for me. Anyway, she got what she wanted. The kids, the family, the stable life, and then I became optional. It's a classic sign, isn't it? The sudden disinterest in intimacy, I'd chalked it up to age, to stresses, to being a busy parent. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to believe it was just a natural phase. Now, I felt like a damn fool. Nothing good comes from these girls' trips, girls' vacations, all that shit. That's what I've always thought. And now I have the proof. She married me. She has every right to get kicked to the curb. My heart was pounding. A jackhammer against my ribs. I needed to keep cool, act like nothing happened. This was hard. Damn hard. My first thought was to go for a drive. Just get out of the house before she gets back. Clear my head. But then what? What's the next move? I needed a plan. I needed to talk to a lawyer. SAP. Find out my options. Whatever they are. However bad they are. I need to know. And then I need to go on a recon mission. Her phone, her computer, everything. I can't stay with someone like this. But the hardest part, the absolutely hardest part, is keeping it quiet, acting normal. I'd seen comments from people online about similar situations. Some women try to play it off as fantasy, just something they wrote for fun, for therapy, some bullshit like, oh, I used to write about orgasms I didn't have, or things my partner did that were exaggerations. This one woman, reading a similar story, said, is it possible she's just writing down a fantasy? I used to rewrite things for my life as I wanted them to be. My ass. The diary entries were too real. The casualness of it all. That's what floored me. She wasn't writing some romance novel. This was a factual account. She even talked about a potential threesome that her friend rejected. She was young, hot-looking back then. I remember seeing old pictures now. It just feels surreal. Her mask never slipped. Not a damn bit. And that's the scary part, isn't it? How good she was at it. How many others out there are just as good. This whole fiction angle is a load of crap. Everything else she wrote in that diary. It was actual stuff that happened, reasonable and feasible. Why would this part be any different? It didn't even cross my mind that she'd make this kind of stuff up. It reads too real. Another guy commenting on a similar story said his wife had a low libido after their second kid. 7 years ago. Their sex life declined. He thought it was just a sad fact of life. Comes with age. Now, he doesn't know. It's a common story. You combine that with a history of solo trips, and it just doesn't add up. I don't buy this fiction nonsense. How sure that Lola is not having a healthy full sex life with other men out there when she's with you. Someone else wrote, guess you never really know the truth. Cheaters suck. That question hit home. How many more? If she kept this a secret for so long, what else is she hiding? I need to take photos of the diary, like some suggested. Every single damning page. Not right away, though I need some time to marinate. To formulate a plan, some pointed questions. It'll take a few days for this to really sink in. But what concerns me most, what truly sickens me, is her ability to lie about it for so long. That's a whole other level of fucked up. Can I forgive this? I don't know. I'm lost for words. The fact that she kept this secret, tucked away next to our bed. Some shrink might say she's trying to sabotage things. Who the hell knows what goes through their minds? But I'm not buying any of that. Not a fake story. Not some subconscious sabotage. This was real. Some people might even try to gaslight me, say she did it on purpose to see if I'd snoop. Oh, I wrote that in there just to see if you were snooping. And now I can't trust you. Bullshit. That's the kind of twisted logic cheaters use to flip the script. Lawyer, PI, Raycon, that's my path. I need to find out what's really going on. Because if this is true, and I highly believe it is, I can't stay with her. The tricky part, the absolute goddamn hardest part, is acting like I don't know. Women are smart, very smart. They have a sixth sense for picking up when their guy is acting different. Like animals can sense things. They pick up on anything slightly off, especially a cheater. Because a cheater is always on guard, always looking for signs they're caught. But then again, if she was that careful, why the hell would she leave this diary next to the bed? Who knows? I don't. But I will. I'm going to find out. And then I'm going to handle things how I have to handle things. This isn't just about me anymore. It's about my kids. It's about the life I thought I had. And it's about reclaiming what's left of my damn self-respect.